Ndị be anyị ekeleni m unu n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị si na ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ana Igbo and Igbo community and ihe na-ebe na Naịjirịa. Ya bụ ife ka anyị na-ewetara unu na Igbo Media. Dịka isi wee na-esole anyị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izizi gị ị na-abịa n'elu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media, kabaru ka subscribe and turn on your notification ka ị lapụ miss any of our update dịka anyị na-etikwu ya n'iru akwụkwọ kwa mgbe. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ya wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si ada and gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ n'ala Igbo. Biko mma achọ ka ige ya bụ ife. Ihe a bụ ihe Biafra Chief of Staff bụ Ngozi Onobueze kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ka o si ada na Finland and gbasịta maka Biafran Prime Minister Maazị Simon Ekpa. So igecha ya bụ ife idropụra ifiche n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ihe bụ ife ndị a niile okwu. All right, over to you.
As a new country, there's been a couple of things going on. And nobody, again, let me be clear, nobody has changed anything in our fundraising on the back end. Everything is still like that. What the Brigade Cabinet members wanted is just to get clarification from our finance minister. You cannot be a finance minister for an organization. Even if you borrow that organization 100 million, you must be able to tell the organization, this is what we put in, this is what we put out. That will help the new administration to plan. We have to cut our coat according to our size. But some people think there should be nothing like that. Everybody should start operating in their own way, the way they feel, because they have the power to do that. But the Cabinet of the United States of Biafra, we are not going to operate like that. We have a responsibility to Biafrans. We have a responsibility to keep our angels going 24/7. That is our responsibility. And Biafrans are ready to contribute money to help do that. But we must make sure the money that is being contributed under His Excellency, the Prime Minister, goes to his people and not to another people. Now, moving forward, those of you that have been following our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister has always said, upon the declaration of the United States of Biafra, the Brigade Cabinet will be dissolved. I know he has said that publicly and privately. And that is exactly what I did. With the power vested in me, and in nobody else. It is me that he vested that power, because I know the reason why he requested for that to happen, which is not what I'm going to start explaining here. If somebody respects our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and he gave that order, why should the person or the individual try to disobey that order? And they will tell you that they are fighting for Biafra. They want to raise funds for Biafra. Is it the job of the finance department, headed by Sonny Akparawa, to be talking about raising money for the Biafra restoration? It's not his job. But for some reason, they all decided to do what they think they want to do. As we are speaking right now, the finance minister now has sent out a WhatsApp, a Zoom meeting for the 40 state administrators in Homeland to meet with him tomorrow. But he refused to come to the meeting with the person that the Prime Minister have given the power. But he went, this is just to disorganize and destroy. But you know what? Not in this struggle where I am. This case is dead on arrival, and they will fade if they want to. Like I said again, I don't know their issue. I'm not going to get into that. But we have a defense minister that is currently attending to some issues in defense. And that is the right thing to do. Because when PM was available, most things come to him. Most information come to him. But all of a sudden, because he's out, some people think they are the ones that is in charge of everything. I find it very sad that somebody will come to the air to tell the world that without him, the Finland Convention wouldn't have happened. And that is why it's very, very important for us to know how we can help the finances. We don't want nobody coming out to say that without him or her, the United States of Biafra will not be achieved. That's a slap on our face. That's a slap on the thousands of people that support our Prime Minister financially to get the United States of Biafra. So for Biafrans to have that bandage on their face every time that without me or without anybody else or without the finance minister contribution, that there will be nothing like United States of Biafra. Nothing like that. All of us contribute in our own way. I'm not going to tell people what I contribute in this struggle. I'm not going to tell people what I've lost being in this position. That is not what I need to do. Because Biafra is way bigger than what I do, what I lost, and what I put into the struggle. But under this leadership, that must stop. Nobody can come and say, without them, the United States of Biafra will not stand, or without the money they boil up here, and which is money we pay back. People give money, and there are people that give thousands of dollars to the struggle. You don't even hear their name. And that was why we're trying to clarify some of, yes, we thank people who borrow us money in time of need. But it's also important for us to know what was borrowed. What did you borrow us? How do we pay back? I think that's just basic accountability. It's not to stop anybody from doing what they do, but it's just the transparency. Because we are in a new administration. We are now a country. It's not everything that has to come to the open, but we know things that the cabinet needs to know. And there are things the cabinet do not need to know. And that is why the cabinet decided we are going to have a week break before we start our fundraising. And Sonia Akparawa and Ogen Kera and Ajere went to be telling Biafrans that Dr. Ngozi Oronigwe have canceled fundraising and are trying to connive and try to deceive those in homeland, our angels. Well, I will tell them, please, do not get involved in this madness. Do not. Do not. The PM has gone through this part in the past, and it didn't end well. The essence of the information department is to let Biafrans know what is going on. Keep us abreast of the informations. Not to use the information department to be spreading false information to the public and spreading lies and try to witch hunt somebody because you feel PM did not give you the power to run this struggle. PM knows all of us one by one. He knows what each individual can do before he gave that power. If you think PM knows that you can run this struggle, he would have made you the one in charge until he comes out. But the Prime Minister didn't do that. And as long as he didn't do that, you must bow by that instruction that the Prime Minister gives. That's the right thing to do if you truly love the PM, as you say. I'm letting our angels to henceforth desist from contacting Ogen Kere or Success. As I know their jobs when Obatobia was around. And I'm very, very happy. Many of the angels got that information, and it's going to continue that way. Our fundraising is going to resume next week, and Biafrans are ready to donate to this cause. Biafrans are donating because of the Prime Minister, not any other individual. They donate because he's going to restore Biafra, not because of any other individual. So anybody that thinks that Biafrans are donating money because of him or her, then the person is not being sincere. Again, I do not know what people's problems are in this struggle. And I'm not going to get into their problems. If some people think that the COS name is what they're going to use to gain cheap popularity, we will stay and see how that is going to end. I've been through this road before. Currently, the new cabinets are in place. And I encourage Biafrans to reach out to them if you have any concern, any questions in the particular area. And like I said, the Prime Minister has set all these structures in place. But maybe some didn't know. And they think if they go about creating this childish chaos, that is going to bother Biafrans. I'm telling the 40 state administrators at this point, do not attend any message, any fundraising raised by Ogenkere. He is no longer the finance minister. We have a new finance minister who is going to be reaching out to you, Biafrans. The list is out and you can go through that list. Currently, our international lawyers and local lawyers are already making the moves for our recognition by more countries in the world. Again, what happened to Obatobie? Again, he has not committed any crime. They've not indicted him of any crime. All they say is that investigating. They are investigating, which is okay. Investigating based on the lies that some Biafrans, those that claim they are Biafrans, that were used by the Nigerian government to drop all those lies. They said terrorism. Then they dropped the charge and they say he's inciting people. And we tried, while we were in Finland, to let them know. We've declared our independence in Finland. Nobody incited us, right? So even though they didn't allow PM to have access to us, did that stop us from declaring? No, it did not stop us. That shows our self-determination is what we want. It's not about any individual. But I believe this was politically motivated to make him not to attend the Declaration of Independence of the United States of Biafra. But I know, I promise you, there's no crime, nothing against our Prime Minister. As we resume our fundraising next week, we'll encourage Biafrans to please continue to donate. If you're donating $1 before, please make it $2 right now for the sake of Obatobie, so that the defense minister can revamp some of the damages this success and the people following him has done in homeland. The new finance minister will straighten out the current account in homeland and the diaspora account to ensure that everyone donating to our Prime Minister, the money goes where they need to go. For those talking about the new cabinet members, again, I said if you have been following the Prime Minister closely, this should not be an issue to you. But when those that felt their name is not on the list comes to you to tell you stories and tell you how the COS has stopped fundraising, you know they're lying. The fundraising was just suspended just for 1 week for us to make things keep our house in order. And ask them, if it was the prime minister that says we are going to suspend our fundraising for 1 week, would they do what they're doing right now? Ask them. Would they do that? No, they wouldn't. They would say they love Obatobia, anything you say. But you love Obatobia, but you do not love the person Obatobia put in place to help him organize things. Isn't that sycophancy and sabotage? We have a couple of media people that the information minister is going to be reviewing their names, even though we've added them on the information department. There are a couple of individuals that may be added into the information department that I know the prime minister have approved and have a soft welcome them, just like Obi-Wan News, Remy Jews and all that. And then we have a couple that we've added there based on a recommendation that the finance information minister or myself will be able to review them every now and then to know that what they're doing is in line with the United States of Biafra policies and procedures. And if they're fall short of that, we'll take them out from the media of Biafra. Again, I just want to tell fellow Biafrans, it's not about me. It's not about an individual. It's about the United States of Biafra that have been declared. Our people back home, they are doing the needful. The terrorists are going to leave our land. We are not going to run away from them. And we're going to continue to get the declarations that we need. Sometimes the mob action being perpetrated by some individuals to our prime minister, I strongly believe there was a reason that what happened. That mob action will not continue, not in this United States of Biafra. Again, if you are friendly with the prime minister, that is fine. But when it comes to running this United States of Biafra, you must follow the rule laid by the prime minister. Some of these people, they have no respect for the rule of law. They have no respect for authorities. But Biafrans are going to take care of this. Again, I thank you all Biafrans to this brief space period. And I thank everyone for listening. And Honorable Minister of Information, Princess Aggie, we can take a couple of questions. Honorable Ugo from people, and then we'll call it a day because I have another meeting. Thank you so much, Biafrans.
Thank you so much, Honorable COS, Deputy Prime Minister. Good afternoon, Biafrans. I know all of you have been waiting for this moment. The COS has finished speaking, though she's not going to be here for a long time. I will suggest that we ask her meaningful questions. As her time here, she doesn't have more time to stay. And when we ask our questions, please let's be respectful. When we ask questions, it's to clarify and for us to learn. Like she said, our men on the ground, they are not starving. Don't buy that idea. Mazi Simons Bridgie had a structure, and USB has a structure. If the men at home need something, if they are in need, there's another source money can be given to them. So don't buy the idea that the men are crying, they are doing that. Please don't. We are not poor. We need money, but we are not poor to the extent that our men on the ground will need something. Just like CL said,
Wadaloli Neno from Igbo Media, boy by Siwele Utenunya Bozi, Dio Kempa. gbasara maka ihe na-eme na Nigeria and ihe na-eme n'ebe dị iche iche na Eastern region and unu na oke osi ada na Finland and Biafran Prime Minister ka esi jide ya the update and ya bụ Biafran declaration nke eme na Finland. So ihe niile aka anyị na-ewetara n'iru akwụkwọ ka ife nwere ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ihe Chief of Staff gasị n'iru akwụkwọ ya na ebe ọtọgasị aka and the new development on Biafra of United States of Biafra. So ya bụ ife ka anyị si ka anyị tinyere unu ka unu gwa ifu nche n'ụdị nke unu gbasara maka ya bụ ife ngwa daalụ dị nke emesịa